On my right is the Harrier and on my left is the Safari, both in their new avatars. In the past, the only point of differentiation between the two products was the sitting capacity and minor design changes. This time around, Tata says that both the models have been conceptualized differently to meet the needs of their individual customer base. During the course of the video, we'll try to understand how Harrier and the Safari were dealt with in their new avatars. We'll also try to understand how the two brands have evolved over their last generation and the role each will play in Tata Motors' product portfolio. It was in 2018 when Tata Motors showcased the production version of the H5X concept and named it Harrier. While sporting the Impact Design 2.0 philosophy, the company conveyed the message that Harrier would provide a glimpse of the future generation of Tata vehicles in terms of styling, technology, and performance capabilities. And indeed, it did. It was nowhere close to what Tata products used to look and feel like at that point in time. It underpinned the optimal modular efficient global advanced or Omega architecture, which is a derivation from the Land Rover D8 architecture engineered to suit Indian conditions. Harrier became the obvious choice for Tata Motors to start off its turnaround 2.0 journey. The new approach from Tata Motors then played out well. Harrier made a mark among customers, especially the young. It recently completed a cumulative 1 lakh sales in May 2023 since its debut in January 2019. With this new business strategy, the company was also looking at bringing back some marquee brands like Sierra and Safari. The former was the first product from Tata Motors and in its new avatar needed path-breaking technological advancements. Safari was a brand that customers and enthusiasts were awaiting a revival after the older gen version was elbowed out after BS6 kicked in. However, it actually felt like a stretch version of Harrier with a couple of more seats. Martin Ullrich, the head of global design at Tata Motors, says the idea with the 2021 Safari was to revive the nameplate with better technology and enhanced capabilities. In 2021, Tata Motors brought back the Safari nameplate with a very different character in terms of being more sophisticated and mature. Now that both the models have established themselves in the market, the company says that despite their similar designs, there are distinct traits that separate the two and meet the needs of their customers.
So we saw the opportunity that we also wanted to make them clearly unique. They're more than just different nameplates. They are actually different characters. So we saw some opportunity to differentiate the two of them, not just that one is a 5-seater, one is a 7-seater. They are two distinct models. We noticed that the Harrier is a little bit younger and at the same time a little bit more dynamic, a bit more sporty. And then with the Safari, we noticed that people are seeing that as a flagship product, that there's a prestige that comes to it.
The challenge for the team was to provide a design which was similar and yet conveyed a different message. For this task, Tata Motors decided to focus on finer details. The cabin, for example, in the Harrier features funkier colors with carbon fiber finish for the dash, while in the Safari, the theme remains sober with elegant colors and wood finish for the dashboard. This strategy remains the same for the exterior as well. Meanwhile, the UX UI of both the vehicles for their instrument cluster and infotainment system also differ, with one being slightly flashy and the other calmer in contrast.
A lot of that is done by our color and materials. You've noticed that we're offering a lot of really unique finishes and personality.
A lot of the differentiation is also made possible with the persona strategy that Tata Motors has incorporated with the two products. First incorporated in the Punch, the company says that this persona strategy helps meet specific requirements of a set of customers without a hierarchy of trims. Ullrich says that viewing the trim level in horizontal form, which the persona strategy allows, gives an impression of lifestyle choices to customers rather conveying the message on their budgets.
We mapped out the persona strategy. We gave it almost like a practice run with the Punch, you know? And then with the Nexon and now Harrier and Safari, we really, increasing it. We have almost like a toolbox of personas. Not a lot, 6, 7. And we mapped out the entire portfolio. So we know every model, which personas are buying it. It's a reflection of, just marketing information. We know who's purchasing our vehicles.
In the Harrier, for example, the personas range from smart, pure, adventure, and fearless, while for the Safari, fearless is replaced by accomplished persona. The other personas remain common between the two. Each persona has been carefully crafted to meet a specific set of audiences. Tata Motors believes that someone looking for the adventure persona may not want to go for the accomplished or fearless even if their budget allows this. Besides the features and name, each persona is also differentiated in terms of the colors on offer.
In many ways, it then makes it much more appealing. It's just who has what character, what's right for them. So for instance, on the Harrier, this fearless persona, which is obviously very kind of bright and a statement, it's not for everybody, and we don't see it for everybody. But there is a group of people who will find that appealing. Right.
Driving both the vehicles back to back on Pune roads felt a lot sportier in Harrier because of its firmer ride. In contrast, Safari feels way more planted and sure-footed. Mohan Savarkar, Chief Product Officer at Tata Motors, says that a lot has to do with the chassis setup of the vehicle.
In case of Safari, we've provided 19-inch tires, so which have increased the size from 235 to 245. The wheel track has also gone up, and the overall width of the vehicle at the wheels is also now 30 mm plus. So this allows for a more planted feel. For the Harrier, we have maintained the earlier ride in terms of, let's say, the wheel sizes are the same, but of course the improvements that come because of the e-pass and the spring and dampers are there for Harrier also.
While both the products differ on how they feel, what remains common is their enhanced capabilities and feel-good features over the last generation models. To start with, both feature the 170 HP Kyrotech 2-liter diesel engine and get an option for 6-speed automated manual transmission with monostable gear shift lever with E-shift. This means that there is no cable linkages between the shifter and the gearbox, which allows for a quicker shift time. Another addition this time around to both the models is a paddle shifter.
I mean, in terms of, let's say, the moment you sit in the car and you look at an E-shifter as opposed to the earlier PNRD, you suddenly know that you are in a shift-by-wire car and not in a mechanical car. Right? And then in terms of, let's say, ease of shift as well as quickness of shifts, it is much easier for you to do it that way. Same way, the pedal shifter then also allows a much more control in terms of how you are able to drive even your automatic. And if and when you want to slip into a manual mode, it's so easy for you to do it.
Another addition on the mechanical front is the electronic power steering. This in turn helped the company to tune the suspension, both springs as well as the dampers.
So the e-pass, I mean, as you would know, works on electrical power assist steering. And the way that it does is that we have put a steering column mounted motor that helps us to provide additional control on how you are able to steer the car. And then because it's an e-pass, it allows us to also calibrate the response of the steering to how the person wants to drive. So if a person wants to drive in the sports mode, for example, it will also allow the steering to slip into the sports mode. So it gives you a very active response in terms of how you want to drive the car.
Meanwhile, on the design front, both the vehicles now feature a more aerodynamic bumper to increase efficiency.
Translation into value, making an aerodynamic vehicle. Because we're experiencing that and we're doing that, we see the opportunity. Why wouldn't an ICE vehicle also be more efficient? There's a responsibility aspect in terms of sustainability. And at the same time, it's definitely the trend aesthetically.
Okay.
So overall, there's no reason why any powertrain shouldn't be aerodynamic.
Stepping inside the cabins of the vehicles also give a very different feeling compared to the older models. They are much more upmarket thanks to the digitalized initiatives. Both models now get a 31.24cm instrument cluster along with a 26.03cm digital instrument cluster. The vehicles also get a 10-speaker JBL sound system with Harman Audio Works. Interestingly, the infotainment system and digital instrument cluster, along with other functions, now use a single ECU called the cockpit domain controller.
So what this means is that all signals in the car go to one place, and from there they are distributed to whichever instrument needs to use it. So this adds to the seamlessness of the information availability.
Another update to the tech is the IRA 2.0 software, which improves upon the vehicle connectivity features.
In terms of connectivity also, it's one more area where we want to keep on providing more and more to our customers. So what we have done now is several things on this space. So for example, there's something called remote engine start stop. So let's say you're staying on the 20th floor and then you want to come down and drive the car. You could ask the car to start up as you leave your house. You can ask it to start cooling or heating to the temperature that you want. And then by the time you come to the car, it's all ready for you.
The vehicles are a lot better on their safety quotient as well over the last generation model in all aspects regarding structural, passive and active safety.
On the car itself, we have done many things to enhance safety. We've added several, about 18 odd parts in high-strength steel, which allow us to achieve ODB 64 and also in a symmetric way, which means left and right. Because these days you will know that even in India, there is a median on most roads. So collisions with oncoming traffic is very less in terms of probability. The probability goes up for collisions with stationary vehicles on the left shoulder of the roads, and that is where this symmetric crash helps us. So we've also done work to ensure we qualify for side pole crash as well as side crash.
Meanwhile, on the active feature side, Harrier and Safari now get ADAS features, while with the earlier models, the company started providing them post BS6 Stage 2 norms kicking in. This time around, Tata says that it is close to achieving level 2 features. The only missing piece is the lateral support.
We've been working in the background to see how to keep on enhancing this, but we also wanted to see that we are able to provide the features in the car as customers also evolve and develop a liking for this. So that we are seeing is in the right place now. So what we have done today in the car is to activate all features that are in the direction of travel of the car. Okay, so which means the ACC is on, the overtake assist, stop and go assist, all those are on. Okay, the features that are required for lateral control have also become feasible because of the EPAS now. Okay. So those features are, let's say, hardware provided in the car, including the button that if you press shows coming shortly. But it's something that is under testing right now, and in the next few days, months, it will be available. And for people who buy the car today, this will get upgraded.
With all these changes, both brands have significantly evolved over the last generation models. They will play different roles more than just giving the customers an option between a 5-seater and 7-seater SUV.
So you would have seen that we have done this separation between Harrier Safari, and then we have also provided 4 personas, right? So the way that we see is every person is different. So the more we are able to identify the likes and needs of a given type of people, it will be easier for those people to identify with our car and for us to get closer to those and become more attractive to those people. And this way then we'll find that more and more people find the car of their choice being available to them.
The two products not only differ in terms of their design nitty-gritties and dimensional configurations, but are also targeted towards a different set of customers. While the Harrier strives to pull in younger customers, the Safari on the other hand is intended towards a more sophisticated and mature audience. What remains a common goal between the two is to garner more sales with newer set of customers. Thank you for watching Mobility Outlook. For more such contents, please do visit our website mobilityoutlook.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel. To ensure you stay notified of all our video contents, please press the bell icon. Until next time, Follow all the road and traffic rules and be a responsible citizen. Stay safe.